Hello.
Hello.
Here we are. Bhagavad Gita. We're at the very
Almost at the
end of chapter 18. The 18 chapters being symbolic of 18 days of teaching where Arjuna is learning from Krishna. Hi, Roz. Hi, Roseanne. I got my Rosses and my Roseanne clicking backwards there.
Yeah.
There's Roz. There's Ro. That makes Ro, Ro, Ro. You're Johnny. Hi, Johnny. And so here we are. Verse 59. This is page 455 of the text. Krishna says to Arjuna, if resorting to ego you think I shall not fight, this is your resolve. It is a false one. Nature will impel you. Please remember that the story of the Bhagavad Gita is a symbol of our internal dealing with our own samskaras, our own habit patterns. It's not promoting war. That's a symbolic story. And there is Raj. Hi, Raj. Hi, Scott. Guten Morgen, Hashim. Hi, Anjan. Hello, Scott. And who else do we have there? Hi, body bearers. Yes.
Hi, everyone.
All of us body bearers. But anyway, I just paused to say, let us remember that this is a symbol. And so it's so tempting sometimes when we have certain stages of sadhana and negativity is coming up from the unconscious mind, as it does as we progress along the path. They can feel like, life was pretty good before I started this stupid meditation stuff. Maybe I should do something different. I should show the screen here. You got my lovely face, but I wasn't showing you the thing. If resorting to ego, you think I shall not fight, this your resolve is a false one. Nature will impel you.
It's your dharma.
It's your dharma. You cannot escape it. If we try to escape it, it will come forward and will manifest out in the world in some way or another. And then we feel even yuckier, is the spirit of the suggestion here. Seems to be accurate in life, doesn't it?
Sometimes you want to do something like really selfish or something,
yeah.
But then in the back of my mind, it's just someone so quietly shaking like,
no.
Anonymous. Oh, no, why can't I just sneak this by? But no.
But it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Bound by your nature-born act, O son of Kunti, what you do not wish to do out of confusion, even that you will do helplessly. Swami Rama explained to us, if one becomes obstinate and thinks he will not do something that he has to do, he can waste time and he can suffer, but his nature will eventually force him to do it. Although he is a warrior and a leader and a descendant of Bharata, Arjuna withdraws himself from the field of action and wants to retreat. Because he is confused and deluded, he forgets to do his duty and becomes caught up in attachment. But Sri Krishna tells him, you must perform your duty. You have to do your dharma. And for performing your duty, you must be non-attached, free from pride, prejudice, and the bonds of ego. The aspirant should always remember and follow his inborn nature and potential, with the help of which he should learn to unfold, improve, and accomplish the purpose of life. Often occasions come that lead one to deviate from the path, but then he should again make sincere attempts to tread his path. Every human being is endowed and gifted with some great and profound quality that can be called his inborn nature. If the aspirant does something that he is not meant to do, his inborn nature will compel him to do that for which he is meant. Another note there. Let's see. It's Jean. Hello, Jean. Good evening. Well, there. Compel him to do that for which he is meant. Suppose the aspirant follows the path of renunciation sincerely with his mind and heart, but becomes distracted along the way. He will invariably come back again to the path because his deep-seated desire to follow the path of renunciation, motivated by his inborn qualities, will again bring him back to his path. The sovereign God dwells in the heart space of all beings, O Arjuna, making all beings move with his Maya as though they were mounted on a machine. Go and take refuge only in him with your entire being, O descendant of Bharata. By his grace you will attain the highest peace and eternal station. I have taught you this knowledge, more secret than any secret. After contemplating it in entirety, do as you wish. That's what we got on the wall here.
Wake up or do whatever you wish to do.
Do it, wake up or do whatever you want to do. In verse 61, there is a subtle and profound teaching. Sri Krishna says, O Arjuna, the Supreme Lord is the inner dweller in everyone's heart. That the Lord is the inner dweller should be understood by all aspirants. But with that knowledge alone, one cannot directly attain wisdom. He will have to learn to practice and to see and realize the Lord himself first. Then he can grasp and comprehend that the Lord dwells in every heart. The mere knowing of a principle is not the same as realizing it. Very important. Those who do not realize that the Lord dwells in the hearts of all remain attached to the vehicles of nature. They are compelled as though they are being used as puppets. Therefore, Krishna says, O Arjuna, surrender yourself to the Lord alone, and once you have surrendered, then by grace you can attain the state of tranquility and thus will be liberated. That is the secret of secrets that is imparted to Arjuna. After that secret is imparted, hark, who goes there? Must be a Joe. After that secret is imparted, one is left alone to decide for himself what is right for him. When a teacher imparts knowledge, he wants his student to use his free will, to be courageous, and to make experiments, to experience and then realize what is right for him. Spiritual teaching should not be forced on students as commandments, but there is a commitment between the teacher and the student, and once the teacher has completed his commitment, it is up to the student to choose, practice, and do as he likes. Thus, in the path of spiritual knowledge, 50% of the responsibility lies with the teacher and 50% with the student. Let's see, we got some more note here. Let's see what we got. It's Scott saying, hi, Joe. There's a hi, Joe. Joe says, hi, Scott. That was short and sweet, huh?
Cannot get any shorter than that.
And again, hear my final words. the most secret of all. You are firmly my favorite. We all want to hear that, right? Therefore, I shall say what is beneficial to you. Let your mind be in me. And remember, me is a symbol for the infinite non-dual reality, Brahman. It's a symbol. It's the story. Let your mind be in me. My devotees sacrificing to me. Offer salutations to me. You will come only to me truly. I avow you are my beloved. Abandoning all virtue, come and take refuge in me alone. I shall liberate you from all evil. Grieve not. Take that, Arjuna. The teacher's love for his student is immense and immeasurable. It is always selfless and of the highest quality. Such love cannot be found in any other relationship in the world. With his immortal love for Arjuna, Sri Krishna says, listen to my words of wisdom. I am imparting the secret of secrets because you are my beloved disciple. This is for your good. Let's see, we got another comment there. No, that was Scott saying something moved over there. Students are many, but disciples are rare. A student can join a school and can also leave it. He comes to a spiritual teacher, studies with him for some time, and then leaves forever. And that is how this deal works. But when the spiritual commitment is made by both the teacher and the disciple, it is impossible for the teacher not to impart to his disciple all the secrets that he himself has realized. The true disciple always remains eager to learn the subtle secrets that fulfill the purpose of his spiritual commitment. When the disciple learns to fix his mind on the Lord alone and dedicates his entire life to the Lord, he attains the kingdom of eternity. Note that it does not say turns his entire life over to the teacher. Important difference. That's promoted a lot in our world around us. What?
The bank account.
The bank account and everything. When the disciple learns to fix his mind on the Lord alone and dedicates his entire life to the Lord, the Brahman, the absolute reality, he attains the kingdom of eternity, where the Lord resides unattached in his splendid glory. Again, his, because it's a storyline. Knowledge of the path of devotion and the way in which God is attained is a secret imparted only to the very dear disciple. Sri Krishna says, O Arjuna, forsake all religious works whatsoever, and make the Supreme Lord your final and sole refuge. Grieve not, for you will be free and released from all sins. The 66th verse contains the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita in a nutshell. Renounce all actions and come to the Lord alone, for your stains will be washed by the Lord. Ordinarily, if one abandons his duties, he suffers and plunges into sorrow. But if one renounces a lesser duty in order to perform a greater duty, his sin is forgiven. If the cause is higher and more profound than the duty that is abandoned, that duty should be renounced delightfully. Suppose one renounces his home. He will suffer the consequences of renouncing his duties, but he will be free from that suffering if he takes on a duty greater than the duties he was performing before. If one renounces his country for the service of mankind, he is performing a higher duty. And if one renounces everything and devotes all his time and energy to deep and profound meditation and contemplation, he is the highest of all devotees, and his stains are washed off by his pure devotion. Serious questions arise here. Since Arjuna was prepared to renounce the world in the beginning, why was he not allowed to do so? And why is the secret of secrets that one should abandon all duties and that the Lord will wash away all his stains and sins being imparted here? In the beginning, Arjuna wanted to withdraw himself and to abandon his duty in a state of confusion and despondency. He was not renouncing in a state of wisdom, but in a deep state of sorrow and out of fear, attachment, and confusion. These verses teach the aspirant that the highest of all is that path in which one devotes and dedicates all that he has and all that he is to the Lord. Such a lost lover of the Lord is the highest of all aspirants. Whether he follows the path of renunciation or the path of action, he is liberated here and now, and he enjoys eternal happiness. This should never be taught by you to a non-ascetic or a non-devotee, nor to someone inattentive, nor to one who defames me. He who narrates this supreme secret to my devotees, completing his highest devotion towards me, will come to me alone without doubt. Remember, symbol of the one reality called Brahma. For devoted to that, eventually we find that. Among human beings, there is no one who causes me greater pleasure, nor shall there be anyone more beloved of me on earth than one who will read this virtuous dialogue that has occurred between us. Let him sacrifice unto me with the sacrificial observance of knowledge. This is my view. Endowed with faith and without calumny, whichever human would hear this, even he, liberated, would obtain the beautiful worlds of those with meritorious acts. The great sages like to impart their knowledge to their loving disciples. Their teachings are called secret knowledge because they cannot be comprehended by the ordinary mind. The teacher imparts such knowledge to his close disciples only. It would be a waste of time and energy to impart such knowledge to those who are not prepared, for it would be like Greek or Latin to them. There is no reason to discuss the spiritual depths with those who are not at all proficient in the path of spirituality. The supreme secrets of spiritual knowledge are imparted only to the dear and true devotees who have already trodden the path and who have still to attain. One who imparts the knowledge of devotion and dedication to those weary, tired, and old travelers who are on the path but still stumbling is dear to the Lord. Such teachings help both the teacher and the student. The greatest of all possessions is the teaching profession. The greatest of all professions is the teaching profession. And among all branches of knowledge, spiritual teaching is the highest. Among the many spiritual paths, the path of complete devotion and dedication is the highest. Thus, the teacher who imparts his spiritual knowledge is the highest of all teachers. Teaching spirituality is the highest of actions and is pleasing to the Lord of light. There is no one higher than the sage who propagates the truth lovingly and selflessly. There's Terry. Oh, I missed that free from Roseanne. There was the free. And there's Terry. Hi, all. One who studies, practices, and propagates the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna with all his heart and mind is the greatest of all devotees. By studying and practicing the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, one is, in fact, worshiping the Supreme Lord. One who listens to the discourse of the Bhagavad Gita with unquestioned faith is a holy man. Such a man becomes free from stains and fears. One who contemplates upon the teachings imparted through the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna is released from bondage and attains a high state of spirituality. Among all the offerings made by human beings, the sacrifice that is made by imparting the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita is the highest of all. The knowledge imparted by the Bhagavad Gita is beneficial for all people in all times. Another note here. There's a free from Teria. Another free. Let's hear it for the frees. Did you perchance hear this, O son of Pritha, with a one-pointed mind? Without, where'd I get that? Did your delusion of ignorance perchance vanish, O Arjuna? Arjuna said, the delusion has vanished by your grace. I have received remembrance, O infallible one. I stand here free of doubts. I shall act according to your word. Throughout the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, it has been Arjuna who has asked the questions. But here Sri Krishna asks questions of Arjuna. Is your delusion dispelled? Has your ignorance vanished? As a result of knowledge imparted by me, are all your questions answered, or is there still doubt lingering in your mind? Arjuna replies, O enlightened one, my ignorance has been dispelled and my doubts have been resolved by the teachings that you have imparted to me. I have no doubt in my mind and no conflict about doing my duties. I will fight with all my might. You have inspired me, and I have regained my inner strength. I will perform my duties according to my dharma. Now I am able to perform them skillfully and selflessly without any attachment. Those like Arjuna who plunge into sorrow and delusion lose their memories of their true nature and of the source from which they came. But Sri Krishna has led Arjuna to the awareness of that which he has forgotten. Arjuna now realizes his unity with the self of all. Sanjaya said, remember, Sanjaya is the narrator of the story who is telling the story of what he sees to the blind king Dhritarashtra, who's watching the thing go on.
So he's eavesdropping on their conversation.
He's eavesdropping, yes. I heard this, Sanjaya said, I heard this wondrous dialogue making my hair stand on end between the indwelling one, that's the Brahman, for which Krishna is the symbol, and the great-souled son of Pritha. By the grace of Vyasa, I heard this secret most supreme yoga. So this whole Bhagavad Gita is yoga. This secret most supreme yoga from Krishna, the Lord of yoga, personally teaching it himself. O King, remembering again and again this wondrous, virtuous dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I rejoice again and again. And remembering that very wondrous form of the Lord, there is great amazement in me, O Lord, and I rejoice again and again. What have we got here? We have a yoga. Thank you, Roseanne. There's a yoga from Roseanne. Where there is Krishna, the Lord of yoga, and where there is the bow-bearer, son of Pritha, their glory, victory, success, and polity are definite. This I believe. Sanjaya, the narrator of the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, speaks to King Dhritarashtra. The compiler of this dialogue is the sage Vyasa, who gave the power of vision to Sanjaya, enabling him to narrate what occurs on the battlefield. Sanjaya says, "O Dhritarashtra, I have heard the supreme and profound wisdom and the knowledge of life and the universe and that which is beyond from the master of yoga. I am describing it to you exactly as I heard it. When I recall these profound teachings, my hair still stands on end. With great joy, I saw the vision of the Lord of the universe, and the joyous and delightful memory of that experience is still with me. I firmly assert that where there is a great hero like Arjuna and a perfect yogi like Krishna helping him, that side is sure to be forever victorious in all ways." The dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna gives deep insight into the philosophy of life and its practical application. These teachings describe the eternal wisdom of the infinite Lord and the ways in which that wisdom can be attained. When a good student has a perfect preceptor, attainment is sure. Here ends the profound and unique teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. In this concluding chapter, Yogeshwar Krishna imparts the art and science of renunciation. There we go. Johnny says, "Oops, hi everyone, hi everyone."
And that was the last chapter?
That was the end. That's the end of the Bhagavad Gita. You want more? You got it all. That was it. That's the bottom line. There's the crescendo. And Roseanne has provided us what I think is a perfect last word for.
Again?
Once again, she does a beautiful job of coming up with some punchline at the end.
Daria is going for it. Going in.
She says yoga, and I'm going to raise you an Om Tat Sat. But that's the same as yoga. I kind of like the way Roseanne wrote that yoga. Besides, it was there. It's what was there. And as the narrator of the story, I had already proclaimed that yoga was the last word. So there it is. And this book really, really is a book about yoga.
Indeed.
I mean, it really, really is. In these 700 verses, over 10% of the verses specifically contain the word yoga. So if anybody ever has any doubts of what this is about, it is about yoga. For those who want to think that this is a Bible about worshiping a man God named Krishna, that's okay. Let everybody do what they want. And this is one of the passages we read here tonight in this last chapter that said basically those who are not willing to do the practices and worship me, even they can make progress. But it's actually a book about yoga. So at this time, we'll come up with something next to do. I think we'll go through a casual reading of the Tripura Rahasya.
Casual reading. Is there such a thing as casual reading?
Yeah. We'll do it, and you'll pop up some of the times, and casually, and it's also about yoga, Divine Mother Yoga, Tantra Yoga. Anyway. So here it is. This is the bottom line. Yoga. Thank you all for hanging out with us. I know several of you have been with me a lot of the times that we have been going through this particular journey through the Bhagavad Gita. And we'll go through it again before too very long. Start over and see if there's anything new. Of course, as we all know, there won't be anything new, but we'll probably hear a gem or two here or there that sinks in, hits home in a little bit stronger, deeper way than it did the previous time. So let's pause there. Maybe it's time to go take a walk, huh?
Yeah.
Matri says, yeah. Matri will go walk with me. Joe will.
Raj is just now. He's just
Raj says, Om Yoga Om Tat Sat. Let's give him honorable mention there.
honorable mention.
Some people like to have the last word.
Yeah, and Hashim has adoring, respectful hands. What a delight. Now, and Johnny is just giving us a flurry of wisdom there. And there is the yoga. So anyway, have a wonderful meditation, everybody. And where do you find what we're looking for? Whoops, not there. We find it there. And that is the sat that is tat sat, which is after the om. Vaishvanar Tejasa Prajna Turiya. Om Tat Sat. There it is. Do you guys ever get tired of me doing that?
Doing what?
Om Tat Sat. Tat Sat. Okay?
Okay.
Well, Joe says it's okay. It's fun. It's just, we just keep sticking with, I ponder sometimes, what the advanced practices of all this stuff is when we understand that it's all basics and that the advance is contained by repeatedly doing the basics and watching the magic. It's not magic. I just like the word magic. Watching the magic simplicity of all of this unfolding internally. Yes? Om Tat Sat. I'm going to push the button, Roseanne. I'm going to push Ma. I'm going to push the button. Shivo Hum. Yoga. Okay. Should I push the button?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Matri says, I should put. I'm not going to push the button. You can't make me push the button. I'm not going to push the button.
That's not you, Swami. Get your finger doing it.
It's my finger doing it. It's Krishna making my finger do it.
That's right.
I would stay here with you, but it's the gunas playing with my finger.
Play the finger guna on the button.
And see, it's like a little worm. It's just going worm.
Now dedicate the action to the Lord, Swami.
Okay, it's all going back to Brahman. It's all returning back. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. Okay. Now I'm going to push the button, Roseanne. If I don't do it soon, Roseanne's going to be changing the yoga word into a push the button term. She did that there a few days ago.
She did?
Yeah, I think maybe while you were traveling or still in Holland. One day she just typed in there, push the button. I'm going to push the button, Roseanne. You ready? Here it is. I changed my mind. I'm not going to push the button. No, I'm going to push the button. But it's fun. I like all of you. And,
you can do it. You will do it.
Okay.
You have to do it.
She's giving me a hard time now. I'm going to push the button. Okay, bye-bye. Dewey.
Do